All right. Okay. Welcome back to the MMP session with, of course, same person, Eli Ibrahim Kerek. Um, it's always a privilege to be with you guys wherever you are listening from or you're watching from. It's a privilege to share with you and, of course, to work with you in this very important part of us that or important facet of life that in a way we cannot avoid it, or some of us try to avoid it, but the way we avoid it is more like a kind of a living in denial, or probably trying to escape it, or trying to kind of force ourselves, in a way to be who we are not, to be who we are not. And so, welcome to psychology in marriage, or marriage and psychology. I know right now you have started kind of getting along with me to kind of understand, why, do we talk about, psychology even as we talk about marriage. And so, um, last week we talked about how, or what we need to kind of consider as we get married. So because I asked the question, are you getting married, or are you preparing to get married? Which, of course, we looked at somehow, in brief as regards to what to consider. But today, I still want to go deeper in that, because there's no rush. I don't want to rush into, other things, that I've not, dig in so much as regards to preparation is concerned. Because, for you to have a concrete, a firm, a strong building, definitely you need to have uh, a very strong foundation. So, and that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make sure that we really are, you know dig down, before we start to kind of put some layers, on top of our foundation. Because any preparation that is haphazardly made, of course, such kind of preparation, it's bound to fail. And of course, as some would say, if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. So definitely, that's why I want to bring this into our attention. I know, like I said earlier, that we are not the same. Some people, can go whichever way, and can go the other way, can go their own way, and somehow it'll make it for them. It'll work for them. But generally, it's a kind of, you know a situation where, if you are not careful, a marriage, in some cultures, are temporal. Let me put it that way. But in some cultures, a marriage are kind of permanent. Let me use that. Permanent in the sense that, some cultures don't accept and don't welcome the idea of divorce. Because divorce is like, kind of, to some of them, is a taboo, or maybe is a sin. From another perspective of the scripture. And of course, God, he doesn't want to condone that. And so, but because for some people, you can change wife, like, you change shirts, or you change cars, or you kind of buy this house, is not okay for you, go somewhere and buy another house. And so that's what I just want us to understand that. And that's why today, still want to build, and that same question, if you are getting married, or you're preparing to get married. So today, I would like to kind of talk about our understanding, understanding our personality or persona in marriage, which is very, very important, very, very important. As we agreed, or I mean, admitted and acknowledged that yes, I am me and you are you. The way I am wired, Grace is not wired the same. Josiah is not wired the same. Um, you know, um, um, you know, we are wired differently. So because of that, and that's why when we are talking about getting married or preparing to get married, we will just talk about the timing. That was what we mentioned last year. And of course, our emotional state needs to also be carried along. But today, I'm more detailed. I want to go more detail. I want to go more detail so that we would really kind of see other things that we needed to see, and so understanding your personality or your persona in marriage, uh, your personality, is something that is very, very important to you and to another person that you would be coming together to form another life, or to kind of metamorphose from being you and being you and another person to become another person. See, that's the way I'm going to put it. Like we would say, 1 plus 1 is not 2 in marriage, but is 1. So that's what I'm saying. You and another person to create another person. See, so in this sense, I look at it and I say that many many marriages were built on feeling, and of course, definitely feeling gives you a temporal fulfillment, temporal, let me say temporal love. That's the word that's how we put it. I love you, you love me. Oh, I mean, we are in love. So, but because of that, at that moment, your emotional, state is at the peripheral, moment, because you are just relying on that. You are just relying on that. I love you, you love me. Oh man, I am in love with her. Oh, I am in love with him. But there are some things that I want you to check. There was something that I want us to kind of talk about today. But a little bit, let me digress. I mean, or let me shift a little bit to kind of give you this notice, or to inform you, beforehand, that probably after today or maybe another week by myself, but I will start to bring in some minds that we would rub together, to talk about these things, together, so that you can hear from other people's experience and some other people's, understanding of what marriage is all about. But again, I know, like I said, many people are doing, these, kind of a talk, um, live, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and the rest of them to talk about marriage. But I said we are looking at the psychological, aspect of what we don't pay attention to, and that's why I'm more kind of burdened, more passionate about this. So, and of course, I said because of us building our marriage on our feelings. So it start from you being carried away by the first impression, you or her, or probably him or she, kind of her sweet talk, the first impression, she or he kind of lavished on you, because you met for the first time, and you are kind of, wow, I've been looking forward for such kind of people who talk this way, or this woman who can talk this way, and this man, oh man, I love the way he talks. And of course, maybe you are carried away by the first date you had, with that person. Probably this man or she you guys decided to go somewhere, and that you enjoyed your pleasurable moments, and you're like, yes, this is what I want. This is what I want. This is what I've been looking for. Man, it's more than that. Or maybe, of course, you are carried away by his or her career achievement or academic achievement. This guy, come on, he is this or she is that. Did you know that this guy, he wrote this book? Or did you know that he has these degrees? Did you know that it's not about that? Marriage is more than it's more than that. It's more than that. And of course, another thing is probably you may be carried away by by the person's social strata, because man, he is this, I mean, he is this political this, or his dad is political dad, or his dad, he's one of these guys in this and that, and looking at the social strata, you kind of weigh yourself, or you kind of throw yourself into that, and let me tell you, that is a lie, that is a deception, that is something that you don't want to in any way, like, kind of give a second lenses to that. No, you don't want to go there. Or maybe because of she or he, of their family fame, did you know that this man, I mean, his dad is this rich, or his dad has this company, or her dad has that, or no, or their family owns that business. You know what I'm saying? Or their family owns. Listen, these things, like I mentioned, I said, and they are temporal. They are temporal. They are appealing to the eye, right? They are appealing to their eye. They are appealing to our senses, and of course, they are life kind of attraction. It'll draw you there. But I say beyond that, because it's about me, it's about you, us coming together to not talk about that one, to not really rely on that, yeah. What about yeah, your dad is your dad is it's forget. I mean, just with all apologies, the guy that they're experiencing divorce right now, the one of the richest guys, in the world, So now, say your dad is him, and then you got married, and now they are divorced, and he will now start to decline, and of course you didn't get to have that thing that he owned, and what again, and of course, okay, say he gave you half of whatever he owns, and you have it, and this woman comes into your life, or this man comes into your life, and of course, because your life is more attached to that thing that you have, not that woman that you are getting into your life. And as soon as this woman comes in, you are more concerned about that, not her. You remember about, I mentioned last week about a pastor who prayed and fasted, and he was thinking, marriage is just to have a woman, but besides you, while you just isolate yourself to pray and to fast and ask God, for wisdom, for knowledge to go and preach or to go and evangelize, forgetting that this woman or this man that you are bringing into your life matters, because her emotional state matters for you, and your emotional state matters for her, because you are coming to share, you are coming to bond, in everything. And so, in the end, he wasn't there for her. She has to begin to kind of look out there. He wasn't there. So that's that. But today, I'm looking at our personality, our personality, because all of these, temporal love, dating and whatever, the first impression, this thing will fade away. Same Ellie that you see him, is probably, I don't know whether I'm handsome or not. Or he's handsome, good looking, and he could talk well. He is, but by the time you come in, you start to see some some of my some of those things that lies in my subconsciousness that will begin to show up, and you say, oh wow, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. But the truth is, some of these things are there not because I made them, and so these things, that we looked at, I say, of course, they will fade away, and of course, our personality defines who truly we are. They define who we are, not the way we feel about ourselves. Our character. I'm talking about our character. It boils, around, the characteristics that will show by the time you come in, when those emotional states begin to trigger or begin to kind of, become stressors, and you begin to see them, and those things begin to, one after another, begin to show up. So the way we feel matters. But the gateway to understanding those feelings is understanding the psychology of our personality. Of course, our emotions matters, as we look at them last week. But of course, the true understanding, of course, the gateway to understanding those emotions, to work with them, to navigate those emotions in our marriages, of course, is understanding the psychology of our personality. Very, very important. It is very, very important. Very, very important. Because it is one thing for you to just say that well, he is cool. Yeah, it is one thing to say that. It is one thing also to say that he is loving, he's caring. Like a lady would tell me that you know what, but when you hear but but he is good, he provides food, I mean, he gives me this, he makes sure the house is that. But see, when you hear but, you have to be very careful. You have to kind of just wait and hear what is the but. So getting ready to marry is not, please don't pay attention to the first time you met. Of course, first impression matters, but that is not the marriage. The marriage didn't start there. No. And of course, don't be carried away by by the outing that you go with the person. No. Those sweet talks can deceive you. And of course, like I said, don't be carried away by his achievement, whichever type of achievement. Don't be carried away, and don't be carried by the family's social strata. No, don't be carried away by that. Or don't be carried away by the family fame. You don't want to do that, but you want to narrow it down. After you've seen those things, then you want to narrow it down to the person. To the person. But first of all, it's about you first. You need to check your own personality. You check your own personality. But let me point out some few things here. While I say the way we feel matters, but the gateway to our understanding those feelings is understanding the psychology of a person. So now there are some temperamental part of us, in our temperament, that we don't pay attention to that. Knowing your temperament will help you to manage another person's temperament, or would help you to both navigate or to weave your relationship with the person that you are now coming together to succeed in your marriage. But when you don't know them, or you kind of not sure why it happens this way, for example, I'm proactive, but there are people proactive in the sense that I like taking risk. I like taking risks. I like immediate decision. I take immediately. Of course, sometimes I run into risk. I fail, but sometimes I succeed. But some people are not wired the same. Some people would take their time. They want to make sure to know when you get when they in fact go to market with a flag or mail. I mean, so you're gonna be frustrated, because when you go to market with a person who is not, a sanguine, you find out that the mail or the flag, they will take their time. Or what is this? Oh, he want to check this, he want to check that, he want to make sure this, or is the color this, I mean, is that same color, or how much did you say is the price, or yeah, is this, oh well, going back and forth, it will take 1 hour for him to buy one thing. And to some of us, it will take us just 5 minutes, we're done. Yeah, because I know what I'm out there to buy. So look at this temperament. We have the melancholia, we have the phlegmatic, we have a choleric, and we have sanguine. These temperaments play it plays, a vital role in our relationship in marriage. So you don't want to wait until when you get into the marriage and you say, oh, well, I want to know my temperament. Oh, well, I didn't know that's our temperament. Some of us, we are so proud at how angry we can be sometimes. We are proud. Well, I'm made that way. So what do you want me to do? I cannot change. But remember, a room for creativity. Remember, a room for improvement. Remember, call for progress. Remember, call for understanding, and remember, it's not about you, right? It's about the two of you. You want to succeed together. So take note of this, those temperaments, of course, like I said, take your time and go ahead and study. And if you have any question about that, I mean, you can just go ahead and send a question if you want to kind of ask question about that. But like I said, I know that a sanguine is someone that is, fast. I know I have that trait. So choleric, sometimes, they're angry. They can be, sometimes easily get upset. Flag, they are cool and, slow and steady, observant. Melancholia, of course, analytical, and I mean, we have these are hundreds. So you want to know what am I? What am I? See, now this is where I'll be mentioning issue. What am I? Last we'll look at like who you are or who am I. Now, what am I in terms of what will be thrown out there that can affect my success in marriage. You want to really pay attention to that. But it is something that we can handle, because it's better to know it than you don't know, and to when you get into it, then you start to struggle. And of course, I mean to mention this also, that once our feelings or your feeling changes, it affects the moment of that stage of emotion that you are. See how it works, so knowing that this is who you are, as soon as you changed, or there's a shift, from this moment, like people who are bipolar, they have a mood change. They can change at any time. So if you know that this person, this is the type of a personality, then you can easily kind of know how you can live with that person, and without any without big problem, or much problem. But the unique challenges, stresses, and burdens, experienced in every marriage, it emanates from the thoughts, the behaviors, and the sufferings that we do not pay attention to. And these are, all those, it comes from that. It is not, sometimes it's not like something that is from outside. It's from within. It's from within. So stop just building your marriage on love, 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 or while you gotta do one plus one, and that's it. No, and you just while you read, Song of Songs, you read Proverbs. You say this about this, and no, it's more than you got to learn about yourself. You need to learn about yourself. Knowing your personality helps a lot to reduce those stresses that will come in the future when you say yes I do, like I said, between um, you and God and you and man, because we sometimes think it is our thing, but it's not. It's more than your thing. It's God is involved. So if God is involved, know that it's something that is very, very, very serious. If it is serious, then you want to make a serious preparation. You want to make a concrete preparation. Don't be carried out. Don't be carried away by her beauty or his handsomeness or his dressings. What is in the dress. You want to ask yourself what is in the dress. You know what is in the dress. That beautiful, good looking. What is in there? And of course, listen. Don't be carried. When I say what is in the dress, don't think no. Don't think Freudian. Don't think or Sigmund Freud. Don't think Freud. Because for Sigmund, everything is about sex. Everything you trace it to sex, and every thought of ours, our emotion, our physical, our everything is traced to our sexual, our sexual, no, it's more than that. It's more than that, and that's why when you marry, you think is about sex. So you come in, and of course something happened, and the mood is changed. That sex that you're looking for, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it because she is not there. I mean, she is shut down. Or if it is you or she that like you, if he's shut down, you're not going to get it. But understand his mood. How okay. Oh, I see. Today she is quiet. Maybe something happened. Could I have? Did I do or did I do not? These things. And so that's why um, uh, in some culture or in some highly or advanced society, you find out they're good in studying personality disorder. When those disorders, as regards to our personality, it helps you a lot. But two things, I mean, before I mention those other some of these disorders, quickly. But let me dwell on, or maybe three things that I know that you need to be very attentive to that too. There are some people when you're not careful, when you're deciding on who to marry, there are those who have this hedonism, you know, um, they're hedonistic in their makeup. What do I mean by hedon? They are pleasure pursuers. Everything is pleasure. Like from the one you meet, the first time she will look nice or he will look nice, and the next thing is, oh, can we go here? I want to go there. I want to go there. I want to go there. Oh man, my friend has this birthday, or there is this hangout somewhere, or you know what? Come on, I mean, can you take me to Dominican, or can you take me to Mexico, or you are in Africa, or I want to go to Miango, whatever rest home, or can you? I mean, I want to go to what is this place where we go spend our money? Dubai. This type of people are hedonistic in their wiring, thoughts, because that's what gives them joy. It is not the relationship. For them, what defines the relationship is pleasure. Let's go here, let's go here. That's what defines the relationship for them. If that is not done, the marriage is not working. the marriage is not sweet, the marriage is not successful, there's no progress in the marriage. And and if you're not really someone who is um tolerable, someone who understands, with that, you struggle with that. You kind of, no, this is not the type of woman I want to marry. I wanted to marry, but you married her already. Well, what are you going to do? So the next thing is like, you go to pastor, you go to the counselor, I can't deal with this woman. No, my money is not for this, it's not for that. So yeah, why? Because you did not pay attention to that. Because definitely, if you had paid attention to that, then you'll be ready for it. So when she said, let's go there, you are ready. Already you know the type of woman or the type of man you are marrying. If it's a man and you woman, you want to be a 24-hour woman in the house, but he's like, hey, get ready, we're going here. Hey, get ready, we're going there. But you are not that type. What do you do? What do you do? So you got to, these are the things, don't be carried away by I love you, like I always say. It's ask a lot of questions. And so the last thing, the next thing is narcissism. Some men or women can be narcissistic. Everything is about them. Everything is about them. They don't feel your feeling. They don't understand how you, they don't care. In fact, they don't care how you feel. They don't care. They don't care. You do whatever you do for them, they don't appreciate it because it's not about them. If everything should be centered on them, should be centered on them. Everything is about me. If I'm happy, oh good, and my demand needs to be met. You have a demand, I don't care. I don't care. So you have to, nurses are difficult people sometimes to handle, very difficult. But like I said, since we believe in prayers, we believe in, but you don't just want to just pray without knowing what is that thing. Of course, God wants us to pray, have a specific prayer. When you're praying, you know what you're praying for. When you're praying, say it, mention it by name, mention it by name. And of course, when you say, well, God asked me to pray for my heart desire, of course, God asked us for that. But make sure, if this is it, then pray for God to kind of help you, navigate through that. And another thing, that is so close to narcissism is individualism. Individualism, some people, you get married, you marry her, she doesn't want, your family there. In fact, even some of them, even their family there. It's just about the two of you. Forget about other relationship out there. It's just about us. So you struggle if you as a man or you as a woman you marry, vis-a-vis, or vice versa, whatever you kind of, you are not used to that because you are out there, and now the woman doesn't want you guys to go out there. He doesn't want you to go out there. You are always by yourself. Go out, just the two of you. You even go to church. Maybe if you are Christian, you go to church, and as soon as they say amen, boom, you are in the house or you are out there by yourself. So you want to look at those things, check it. That's why I call them, I say at the bottom of our temperamental personality lies our subconsciousness, some serious marriage checkers. So you want to be very serious and taking your time to look at those marriage checkers, because some are self-made, okay? Some are self-made, while some are biologically or genetically connected or sourced, some of them are not. You didn't create it or you didn't make it, but you find yourself, as that. So if in the course of your readiness or preparedness, you want to make sure at least there's something like that, or something is going on. So you want to pay attention to that, so that what I'm trying to say is, marriage, you don't want to go into it, then you start to say, well, I'm going to start to handle this, to manage. No, you want to first of all do your homework so that when you come into the marriage, then you know that, I mean, your level of preparedness, your level of readiness, nobody's going to know much about what is going on in there, but you guys are always, people think as if all is well, but they didn't know that much is put into it. Much is put into it, you know. So was it yesterday or day before yesterday? Some people, you know, celebrated their 80th birthday, marriage anniversary, 80th. Let me tell you, you need to ask, because I'm going to bring one of those people, you know, someday, you know, to this platform, so that we will hear from them. If it was just a bed of roses, or if it was just, flatter gold, or if it was just a roads that we experience here in the United States, not the type of road that we experience in Africa. Kuchu, 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 you know, 1 hour drive, it takes you 10 hours drive, you know. So some marriages are like that. Some marriages are like our road back there in Africa. Some roads are like, the roads here in the United States. But some of these uh, uh, personality disorder, some people are paranoia, and something, you see your wife just kind of get scared anyhow. She's just scared. She gets scared anyhow. You want to check, why is my wife like that? And of course, some of them, they are antisocial. They have antisocial personality problem. Because she doesn't want to go to where people are. It's not like she doesn't like people, but where there's this gathering, where there's this wedding, where there's this birthday, she doesn't want to go there. Why? She is struggling with some kind of dysfunction or some kind of limitation. So she needs help. She needs help. So you want to kind of help her out, with that, So, and of course, some people are so dependent. Man, you want to see, I wanted to say run away, but I don't mean to say run away from those. I mean the type of these people, but because you would be you need to help such kind of people. But like I said, I mean, before you get married, get to know, if she is dependent, if he is dependent on you, or she's dependent on you. Begin to prepare her mind, prepare her to be independent, so that even when you are not there, she'll be able to take care of the home. She'll be able to make things work, or he'll be able to make this work without you. So, and the last thing that I want to mention, is OCD. Obsessive compulsive disorder. Some people, man. I think I can mention this one. My wife will not beat me up, because I know my wife has this, because my wife, when she cleans this, she'll go back again and clean it. She'll go back again and clean it. When you go back there and just stain a little, then wahala don't come. So these are some of the things. Wahala don't start, and so she is so obsessed with some things in terms of orderliness, in terms of cleanliness, in terms of so when you have this type of a men or women in the house that are so obsessed with other things, well, okay, obsessed with sex. Let me throw out this one there. Some people who are obsessed with sex. Oh my God. The other person is like, well, let's take some time, but the other person like, no, we got to do it. I remember one of the couple that I got to counsel, and praise God, I keep getting good report from them. But this man cannot go a night without sex. This man cannot go a night without sex. So you ask questions. You talk about that before you get married. Talk about your sex. Remember, I mentioned that about your sexual, orientation. No orientation. So your sexual, function. Make sure to know what type of husband you're marrying, or what type of woman you're marrying. If you are not, especially, I just talk about temperament. Those who are choleric and sanguine by way, they could have such kind of traits. They want to do it every minute. They don't get tired. They don't get tired because they are so obsessed with that. So you talk about that. So when you come in, when you come into the marriage, you already you know that. If you say, well, oh yeah, I am that tired. So well, okay, now after we got married, what are we gonna do? Oh well, it's okay. I can manage that. I can, maybe we can do it once a day, or maybe um, if maybe 3 times. But I know that sex is you can't separate sex with relationship. It's part of us. But when you're obsessed with it, that's a problem. So I can tell you, I don't want to go into, maybe when we're talking about sex, then we can talk about that. How do we look? What is the psychology behind our sexology? I mean, our sexology, or our sexual drive. We can talk about that too, so that we'll now know how we can address that. But I just want to point out this thing to you, that as you are getting married, you want to look into your personality, to make sure at least you carry those temperament, along with you, where why does he like to do this? Why does she likes to do that? Or you ask question, or tell me about this about yourself. Tell me about this about yourself. Tell me about this about yourself. Tell me about, see, you ask question, so that you don't want to go just sit there when you say, okay, can we meet at that joint? So you meet, you just eat whatever you want to eat, you start to kiss yourself, and the next thing is like, oh, do you know that I love you? I mean, I love you, man. I can't do without you, this and that, and you're done. And tomorrow you the same, the next tomorrow the same, the next tomorrow the same. 1 year is gone, second year is gone, third year is gone, and now the next thing are like, oh, the type of car I want us to have, the type of wedding dress I want, the type of car I want us to rent, and all of that. I've seen marriages that I witnessed. I went and preached at a wedding here in the United States. 3 limousines, the groom, the bride, and the other guys, limousine, Mercedes, and what do you call it, homage, But what does that got to do with the marriage? What does that got to do with the marriage? These are just flashy. They are temporal things, They form temporal love. They are not genuine. They are not enduring. So, guys, yeah, I did not see question coming from anyone. I that tells me that you are with me and we are together, because last week we experienced sound problem, which I believe was more of a technical thing. So, but thank God that today that we successfully, without any, someone saying, why I cannot hear you today, but I appreciate you. And, guys, like I always, I love you guys, and I am praying for anyone that is really kind of planning right now, thinking right now. I have some of my boys who are getting ready to marry. I believe some of them are watching. So take note of that. Take note of all of these things, please. I want you to succeed in your marriage, and I want you to enjoy, because I don't want you to manage your marriage. I want you to enjoy. I want you to enjoy. Oh, thank you so much, my my prof. Yeah, he said I sound clear, so I appreciate it, prof. So I thank you guys. Catch you again next week. And next week, if I'm by myself, fine. But I'm trying to kind of, like I said, bring some good guys, folks here for us to share and rub minds together, so that we want this marriage thing, we want to change. Let's change some things. Let's hear some good stuff out there, about marriage. We are tired of, this divorce of a thing, Let our divorce be that, maybe because we are tired of enjoying ourselves, but not tired of, fighting, frustration, stresses of life. Let's overcome that. Thank you, guys. Appreciate you so much. It is good. It is good. It is good. It is good, guys. So I catch you again next week. And so thank you very much for your time. And thank you, he's my mentor. Pastor said, he's doing a lot of things out there. So thank you, Prof. Bye for now.